This is the Mercedes-Maybach GLS. It's like a GLS SUV, only much, much posher. And here's the carwow top 10 things you need to know about it. On the road, the Maybach sets itself apart from the riffraff with a huge vertical rung grille and lashings of chrome. Beneath that is a weird chicken wire style mesh that's a bit like what you get on Bentleys. Well, sort of. Around the sides are 22-inch polished black wheels, which you can upgrade to 23-inch forged alloys with a polished chrome finish. There are also retractable running boards, plus Maybach badges on the rear pillar and next to the windscreen. At the back, you'll find horizontal chrome strips and split near funnel-sized exhausts. If you really want your Maybach GLS to stand out, and if you're buying one in the first place, you probably do, you'll want to go for one of the optional two-tone paint finishes. These are separated by a fine pinstripe around the waist of the car and include some pretty crazy options. What do you think of the two-tone look? Is it on point or a bit too much? Click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen to cast your vote. Inside, the Maybach is like a standard GLS that's been styled by an interior designer more used to boutique hotels. Almost every surface is finished in quilted Napa leather, while the surfaces surrounding the controls are finished in high gloss or open pore wood. That's been inspired by high-end yachts apparently. And there are luxury touches everywhere. 64 colour ambient lighting, extra sound deadening for a hushed ride, and even heated cup holders. The luxury touch extends to the GLS's heating and ventilation too. Its system's internals are mounted on rubber bushes to prevent unwanted vibrations, while the inside vents have a special coating that dampens airflow noise. Mercedes says you also only have to set the climate control once, because the system uses interior and exterior sensors to monitor temperatures inside and outside the car, the angle of the sun, and even air humidity to keep the cabin temperature exactly how you wanted it in the first place. One slightly surprising thing about the interior is that there's no third row of seats. You get 5 or 4 seats only. The standard 3-seat bench gets 30mm extra legroom compared to a normal GLS, plus electrically reclining outer rear seats. But for the full luxury experience, you'll want to specify the 2 individual rear chairs. These bring an extra 120mm of legroom, plus you can kit them out with goodies like fold-out tables, a refrigerator with space for 3 bottles of champagne, and a storage compartment for 2 champagne flutes. Despite all the luxury, this Maybach GLS still has a proper boot, with 525 litres of space, which Mercedes says is enough for 4 golf bags. The Maybach GLS gets the very best infotainment system Mercedes has to offer. This includes a pair of huge 12-inch infotainment screens that sport unique Maybach graphics. They can be controlled via the steering wheel, via a touchpad, or by using the MBUX voice activation system, which sparks into life when you say, "Hey Mercedes!" Rear seat passengers get a single 7-touch tablet display as standard, with the option to upgrade to a pair of additional 12-inch infotainment screens. The Maybach GLS comes as standard with a Burmester premium surround sound system. This can amplify the voices of front and back seat passengers, making it easier to hear each other. You probably wouldn't need that in a normal sized car, but the driver and rear seat passengers are separated by so much space in a GLS, it kinda makes sense. If you want more sound power, you can upgrade to the Burmester high-end 3D surround sound system. This has 27 speakers and 24 separate amplifier channels, producing an overall output of 1,590 watts. The Maybach GLS is powered by a twin-turbo 4-litre V8 with 560 horsepower, and it can waft you from 0 to 60 in just 4.9 seconds. It also gets air suspension that can smooth out the bumpiest of roads or be tightened up for more control in the corners. If you wish, you can upgrade to Mercedes' e-active body control system. This scans the road ahead with a camera and primes the suspension for each bump and surface change to improve the ride quality even further. There are also various drive modes which have been refined specifically for comfort, including a Maybach drive mode that starts the car in second gear, flattens the acceleration curve, and limits the number of gear shifts, all in the name of smooth driving. The Mercedes Maybach GLS will go on sale in spring 2020 with a price tag of around £200,000. That means it will be about £60,000 more than a basic Bentley Bentayga, although the Maybach has a far longer list of standard equipment. It's also a good 65,000 grand cheaper than a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, so it's almost a bargain, if you put it that way, right? The Maybach isn't the only new version of the GLS though. There's also this, the new Mercedes-AMG GLS 63, which might well be the fastest way to move 7 people. Under that big bonnet is a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 that's basically the same one you'll find in AMG versions of everything from the C-Class to the S-Class. It's also similar to the 560 horsepower V8 in the GLS Maybach, but in the AMG it gets 610 horsepower and 850 newton meters of torque. That's enough to get this frankly massive SUV from 0 to 60 in just 4.2 seconds. Top speed is limited to 155 miles an hour, but if you go for the AMG driver's package, Mercedes will lift this to 174 miles an hour.